they can be a for-profit business. But they're a public benefit corporation is what they're turning into. Basically, the whole raison d'etre of OpenAI was to build artificial general intelligence, but for the good of humanity.
Yeah,
That's
right.
why initially it was a not-for-profit, but then suddenly they realized they needed a ton of money to be able to access the compute to build AGI, and therefore the awkwardness began. Microsoft, back in the day, 2019, started putting money into OpenAI. It was its #1 shareholder. Now, they have had the sticking point of why OpenAI hasn't been able to convert to a for-profit, because they needed to square away the deal with Microsoft. The deal is squared away. It seems as though Microsoft's going to be getting a $135 billion stake in the overall public benefit corporation. Now, last time we checked, a month or so ago, when the chairman of OpenAI said a memorandum of understanding was being drafted, Brett Taylor said, OpenAI, the not-for-profit, will have a $100 billion stake. So Microsoft has more of a stake in the public benefit corporation than the philanthropic endeavor of OpenAI.
The heart of the matter here is how Mag 6 and the 20 companies around them adapt to this bombshell, seminal announcement of don't be evil.
And thank you for bringing us back the history of Microsoft being the biggest shareholder in OpenAI. For a while, it looked like that relationship was kind of falling apart. And now it seems like they're all good again. What does this mean for OpenAI's ability to strike deals with those other big tech names?
More freedom. And already that has started to happen because basically Microsoft doesn't have enough supply of compute. So OpenAI had already gone out there. Larry Ellison, they're getting money, they're getting overall compute from Oracle. They've certainly been able to take more money, private capital in from Thrive Capital here in New York based. We also know that they've been going for money from strategic investors, such as SoftBank, for example. So SoftBank started to become a #1 key holder as well. We know that Microsoft will hold 27% of the public benefit corporation.
So what's it mean for someone like Perplexity, which I think is 4 guys from Berkeley, and nobody has any clue who's going to buy them or where, Apple rumored, etc. What's it mean for the other players as they jockey around these behemoths?
It still means that OpenAI now has more freedom potentially to be putting and getting cloud resources from others. What's amazing, Tom, the number in here, 250 billion in incremental Azure services is what OpenAI is contracted to purchase from Microsoft.
This sounds like circular financing.
250 billion, OpenAI has to, in the forward amounts of time, we don't know exactly how long they've got to, but basically no longer will Microsoft get first right or refusal. OpenAI can go and get its compute from wherever it likes, but in the longer term, it has to spend $250 billion with Microsoft. That's a lot of compute when you're thinking about $1 trillion is how much we think infrastructure is going to cost.